What's up, fight fans? Greg Rowe, Rowe Show Boxing. Just wanted to give a quick update, thoughts on the Devin Haney, Ryan-Garcia fight. Let you know kind of what I saw, what I thought, you know, what my thoughts and my pick were before the fight actually happened. Going into this fight, you know, I'd always been a fan of Ryan-Garcia. You know, the way the Tank fight went, when I felt like he could have got up from that body shot and didn't, you know, I lost a little bit of respect for him, just to be honest with you. Wasn't a huge fan of that. You know, that's different. Like Muhammad Ali, you know, quitting on his stool when he was old, Tyson quitting on his stool when he was old. Like, those types of things are different than like a young guy, you know, starting to hit his peak in prime, you know, quitting in a fight. So, you know, I kind of cooled off on him a little bit. I didn't know what to think of his antics and everything that he'd been, you know, doing and saying and all this stuff on Twitter over the last couple months. You know, now knowing what we know tonight, it seems like that was all just for clicks and all to get people interested and maybe drum up pay-per-view buys. We'll see, obviously, if that worked. But it appears to be that those who thought he was crazy or whatever, you know, were played. So, well played, Ryan-Garcia. Going into this fight, I had picked Devin Haney by unanimous decision. I just felt like he was a more complete fighter. I felt like he was a more disciplined fighter. I felt like he was better at his craft and took things more seriously than Ryan had been, you know, during the Tank and kind of the lead up to this fight. And that's why I chose the fight the way I did. You know, when Ryan weighed in 3 pounds over the other day, I was like, maybe that's going to, you know, make it that Ryan's a little bit stronger and not so, you know, fatigued, and that he's a little more hydrated, and maybe give him a little bit more of an advantage than I originally thought he had. But I wasn't going to go back changing my fight pick, because I don't do that. Once I, you know, see a fight the way I see it, and I, you know, break it down in my mind or to fight fans or whatever, I stick with that. So this fight was, honestly, it was a pretty good fight. Was it fight of the year? I mean, through the first like 3.5 or 4 months, probably. Is there going to be a better fight? I don't know. It was a good fight. It wasn't an all-time great fight. The one thing that kind of disappoints me about Ryan-Garcia in this fight is how many times he had Devin Haney hurt, and the fact that he didn't just take a step back. Right? Every time he hurt him, whether he jabbed, hit him with the right hand and followed up with the left hook, or just caught him when, you know, with a left hook in an exchange and hurt him or dropped him, Ryan would like be quick to jump on him, and he would smother himself and smother his punches and throw these like short punches to the, you know, side back of the head and whatnot, and Haney would hold him, and then it would give him time to kind of recuperate. You got to give Devin Haney a ton of credit for how tough he is, how many times he was hurt, how many times he was dropped. He didn't look to quit. He always got up and tried to fight, and that's the true, you know, the true definition of a fighter. That's a great example for young fighters or young kids who want to become fighters of how you have to behave in those moments. So, you know, props to Devin Haney for fighting the way that he did, for having, you know, the balls, the backbone, you know, the pedigree, the want, the desire, the heart to get up, to continue fighting and trying to win the fight. I was thoroughly impressed with that, as I always am with Devin Haney. You know, I did have Ryan-Garcia winning the fight. I felt like Ryan probably had 3 knockdowns instead of 1 in that atrocious round by Harvey Dock. He had a really bad fight tonight, and that was a really bad round. Ryan had 3 knockdowns in that round. You know, he counts 2 of them as slips. He takes a point from Ryan for hitting on the break without a warning. You got Devin Haney holding on to Ryan basically the last 6 or 7 rounds of the fight, you know, 5, 6, 7 times around. He gives him 57 warnings and never once takes a point from him. It's just a bad look. I know people say he's a good referee and that they have respect for him and whatnot, but tonight was not his finest hour. And to me, it would be a while for me personally that I would like to see him, you know, kind of step away from having a fight of that magnitude. I don't really want to see him back in a big fight like that until, you know, he has a couple more that he proves to me that, he can do his job, right and effectively. He gave Devin Haney way too much time to recuperate. He saved him a bunch in those rounds. And this isn't coming from some like huge Ryan Garcia fan that I'm just trying to like make up whatever because I'm trying to pump Ryan Garcia up. I'm a fight fan, and I watch fights, and that was a terrible, atrocious, whatever job by Harvey Dock, whatever you want to say. It was really bad tonight. It was not a good look, not his finest hour. Ryan, one of the judges had it, an even fight. Chris Mannix had an even fight, and I don't see how you could have had that in even fight. There were certain rounds in the middle of the fight where Haney was outworking Ryan, landing more jabs. But in most of the rounds, Ryan landed the hardest punch, the most telling punch, the most telling punches, the most telling combinations, and had Haney, hurt and confused and, holding on. So to me, that 14-11 scorecard is probably about right, honestly. But it is what it is. The right man won the fight. The worst thing that can happen in a fight like this is that the wrong guy wins. And fortunately for boxing fans, for the sport, the right guy won the fight, and that's the most important thing. What's funny to me is Chris Mannix was doing everything he could do to try and make Ryan Garcia look bad tonight. In interviews, talking during the fight, talking to, the corners and whatnot, I just felt like it wasn't his finest hour tonight either. We had Claressa Shields, the GOAT, and Sean Porter tonight give their thoughts on the fight. Both of them said they saw Devin Haney winning the fight either by unanimous decision. Shields said that Haney would win by 9th round knockout. And then after the fight, she says, well, I think that extra 3 pounds actually played a real big part in the fight, and Ryan was too strong and too this and too that. So you didn't know that he had the 3-pound weight advantage before the fight when you made your prediction? Like, she's so terrible. I don't know why they keep bringing her on these boxing shows. She's not one with words. She can fight, but she doesn't know how to break down fights or anything for shit. She's clearly biased, and when a guy wins a fight, she can't just give that guy the credit. She has to make an excuse as to why it happened when she had the same information before the fight when she made her original prediction. So, I get tired of seeing her. I get tired of seeing her tweets. I get tired of seeing her on fights commentating. I get tired of seeing her, going after certain fighters at fights and talking trash. I get absolutely tired of it. And so it was good to see, her, kind of get, a foot shoved in her mouth, even though she was trying to make excuses. Still, you were wrong. You're an idiot. Your fight breakdown was terrible. So, hopefully we don't have to see her talking on fights anymore. But, that's just kind of what I saw. Again, Ryan did what he had to do. He was big, he was strong. He landed the left hook. He landed the right hand. He fought in spurts. The reason I always say Mike Tyson is my favorite fighter is because of how exciting he was. But he was kill or be killed. If he had a guy hurt, he wasn't looking to like smother his punches or like carry the guy for another couple rounds or see the end of the fight. If he had a guy hurt, he took him out. And that's what I want to see more from fighters. I want to see more of a killer instinct. When Ryan's, before the fight saying that, he's fine, killing Haney, and if it comes down to that, it is what it is, and he's going out for blood, and this is going to be war. And then you have a guy hurt 4, 5, 6 times in a fight, and you don't jump on him and end the fight. It just looks like a bunch of yapping, right? And so I'm not a huge fan of that. I would have liked to have seen Ryan be more aggressive. I would have liked to have seen him fight more, composed and intelligent in those moments. Take a step back, throw the jab, even if you're just using it out there as a rangefinder, and then throwing the right hand or kind of pawing with it and then jumping in with the left hook. I would have liked to have seen him more of that. A lot of times when Ryan had Devin hurt, Devin was kind of, on him in here, and Ryan was just kind of like shoulder rolling and allowing him to tie up instead of just like, moving and then shooting like a short uppercut. I feel like there were times that he could have hurt him or even knocked him down or out in those kind of clinches had he just thrown
a short uppercut instead of allowing Devin to hold and then just kind of be separated. That's just, you know, my opinion on what I saw, what I thought. Overall, good fight. Sometimes these big fights don't live up to the drama, to the buildup. I thought this one was a pretty good fight. It wasn't a great fight, but it was a pretty good fight. It was entertaining. I feel like if you were there and bought a ticket or you bought the pay-per-view, you probably walked away feeling like you got your money's worth, and that's the most important thing. Talking about a rematch next, I guess I'm for it. You know, I feel like it was a pretty concise victory for Ryan, even though it was a majority decision. I feel like it should have been unanimous. And when you're winning by 4 or 5 points on scorecards, it's really not that close of a fight. Like I said, I didn't agree with the 112 card. So, like, do I want to see it again? I mean, I'm not going to argue about seeing a fight like that again because I feel like we'll probably see another good fight. But, you know, I like to see maybe, you know, Devin go fight somebody else and then maybe them come back to that fight. Have Ryan maybe go challenge himself and try and fight another big guy, you know, big name, and then maybe run it back. But that's just my thoughts on the fight. Pretty good fight. Great performance by Ryan Garcia. Proved a lot of people, including myself, wrong. Harvey Dock, not a great job tonight. Chris Mannix, not his finest hour. And Clarissa Shields, like, just shut up. So annoying. But that's my take on that. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. How did you see the fight? Do you want to see the rematch? Do you want to see them fight somebody else? Who did you pick to win the fight? Did the fight go how you thought it was going to go? What did you think about Harvey Dock and his job as the third man in the squared circle tonight? You know, drop that down in the comment section below. And as always, you know, I'm fine to chat with, you know, whoever about whatever. And that's it. You know, until the next big moment or something exciting happens, or I feel like I need to get out and talk about something, you know, I'll obviously do so in another video. But as of right now, you know, we'll just kind of see what that is. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So subscribe if you want to. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Comment section is open. And until the next one, I'm out of here.